Ladies and gentlemen, those sweet, sweet sounds can only mean one thing. It is time for the Switch It Up Show. My name is Glenn, and I will be your host as we check out all these wonderful games of the eShop. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, don't even think for 1 second that this is a task that I can handle on my own. Oh no, I need the smoothest, the slyest, the smiliest of guys. I need Mr. Seth Trav. How are you today,
you're
sir?
working on the alliteration.
I'm working on it, my man. I try my...
Yeah, it's all rubbing off from our Treehouse of Horror podcast that we've been doing.
Absolutely correct. I hope that you guys head over into the show notes. As you know, Preach Network is still alive and well, despite the fact that the shows have kind of separated a little bit. You're going to notice in all of the shows, the Switch It Up, the Priest Cast, Tales from the Crib, and It Came from Cherry Hill, you're going to find the links to all the shows of the Preach Network in there to make it easy for you, the people, to take a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and of course, switch it up whenever the time arrives for you to check out something a little bit new. But, we're going to be talking about new all episode. Let's focus on something a little bit classic, like these sweet, sweet tunes. So good, ladies and gentlemen. Anamanaguchi. Don't you forget it. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the first game here. And this is, I love when this happens, because we send out the call to all the different developers, publishers out there, so that we can satisfy our itch for the Switch on the Switch It Up Show, and, sample a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and dive into all the nindies that the eShop has to offer. Seth Trav's loving this. He's hanging on every word now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm absolutely loving it.
And every once in a while, it's awesome whenever we get a chance to review any game, because a lot of these games are all the indie games, and just like us, we are a small two-person operation, small podcast, big heart, which is the same as a lot of these people out there making these games, and it's awesome when we get one code, let alone two. So with this game, Prehistoric Dude, which is available right now on the eShop for $4.99, we were supplied with two codes, so I was able to play it, Mr. Trav was able to play it, so I'm sure he's going to chime in with his 2 cents, which is great, because then you get a little bit of a dual perspective, if you will. And there's also going to be gameplay for this as well in the show notes, so you can go out and check it out over there. You can also, of course, subscribe to that, because you get all the awesome, gameplays of the games that we talk about, in addition to Trav Tries, if you want to see my man sample the most, outrageous of delicacies. He's always...
That's right, the Bizarre Taste Test Show.
That's right. Satisfy your taste for, an indie game, and also some wonderful, desserts and treats and whatnot.
Snacklery.
Snacklery, yeah. That's it. So let me go ahead and hit you with a little bit of the synopsis for this. Help Dude recover his tasty ham from hungry dinosaurs. Prehistoric Dude is a mini Metroidvania game during the Stone Age, which tells the story of Dude, a friendly caveman who loves ham. Explore 3 scenarios while looking for Dude's delicious lunch. Face enemies, master obstacles, and learn new skills and make Dude even stronger. Go on an adventure to help him take back his lunch, which was stolen by a giant dinosaur. He will need to face many dangerous enemies while traveling through caves, forests, and getting some new tools and power-ups to assist him through his journey. Featuring 3 different scenarios during the Stone Age, alternative paths to explore, vibrant chiptune music and colorful 8-bit style graphics, and 7 different special items with helpful abilities. So they're really harping on some of the most basic of features, but hopefully that made them sound exciting. Prehistoric Dude, I gotta say, they say it is like an 8-bit graphic style Metroidvania, and they're not wrong in terms of the description of the type of game that it is. But I feel like they're selling themselves short a little bit in terms of like when they say 8-bit, because the graphics are definitely, I feel like, where this game shines. I think this game is very like pretty looking, especially for 8-bit. I definitely feel like it's more, almost more like in the lower of the Super Nintendo world of graphics. Would you agree?
I do. I think that it somewhat borders along the lines of those sort of pixel art things every now and then, especially because of the way the backgrounds are so well done, and there's so much sort of happening on the screen. Graphically, it's definitely good. I dug the music a whole lot.
Yeah, the music on this is definitely good. I could see you being somebody to pick up a vinyl, as you would say, of this soundtrack, especially if it came in like some type of like I don't know, giant dinosaur green or something like that.
Right, right. But I'd be all over that.
I mean, there's so many. We review a lot of different Metroidvania games on this show, so I feel like this is this is a genre that I feel like it's a little bit done to death. But if you are looking for a game to play, I feel like you can do worse than Prehistoric Dude. With the good soundtrack. Yeah, you can. We have with the good soundtrack and the and the graphics. You're already kind of in the plus column. I didn't have any issues with the controls of this game, although I do find it like kind of weird how you have to go through and you get these axes to throw, and you only have like so many of them. But they seem to be scattered throughout the level for you to be able to collect, so you can get more and more. But it is something you I feel like just have to keep a little bit of an eye on. But I like the enemies, I like the boss, I like the graphics, I like the music. There's a lot to like here, but I mean, I didn't find anything that was too terrible, but at the same time, I didn't like absolutely fall in love with this game. So this is a little bit middle of the road for me. Am I wrong in this assessment?
Not at all. I was going to say the same thing, that it's not like it's doing anything like terribly wrong. I don't have any major gripes with it. It's just that something about it feels sort of bland.
Yeah.
And it's just very kind of straightforward. It's not like they're doing anything too exciting. The storyline's not like too captivating. It's all just very straightforward, and it's done well, but not well enough that I would necessarily like run out and have to get this,
Yeah, the thing is, like there are parts about this that shine, like being the graphics and being the music, and of course being the price point. This is $4.99, so this game is cheap, and at some point it's gonna end up going on sale and being even cheaper. And perhaps maybe I'd like hang out and wait for the next sale before you dive into Prehistoric Dude. You might
it's definitely a sale game. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at her or anything. I just think for $5 you might do more. It might do a little bit better in modern times instead of prehistoric times. Right. But this game isn't doing anything offensive, but I feel like you go into it kind of wanting more because you look at it, it's got that nostalgic art, that music hits, it's good. Like, you find out you're going after this ham, you're like, I'm down, and then it just kind of fades away. If you will. But for this game, for Prehistoric Dude, which is available on the eShop right now for the low price of $4.99, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a 2.5. We're going right down the middle of the road. I would like it to be better. It could totally be worse. And you could do worse, but, let us know what you think over on Twitter at SwitchITUP Show, and tell us, did we miss the mark with Prehistoric Dude, or do we need to travel back in time and take a second look?
Very nice, my guy. My God. It's a hefty act to follow. And thankfully, I've got something that's going to make me blush and stammer throughout most of the review.
Oof.
It's Prinny 2, Dawn of Operation Panties, dude.
Oh,
that's
man.
right. If you listened last episode, we talked about a game coming out, I believe, this Thursday, October 13th, 2020, on the Nintendo eShop for the price of $19.99. And you get 100 gold coins when you purchase it digitally.
Just a friendly reminder, because we almost always bring that up. I didn't say if you get gold coins on mine, you don't, because it's too cheap. It's too cheap. But just a friendly reminder to everybody out there, because I forget all the time, gold coins expire. So
they do. So you gotta make sure you use them.
Make sure you use them.
You use it or you lose it.
Absolutely,
ladies and gentlemen. Unwrap that.
Tap
your Mac.
I'm like, that was a good
and
show.
Get to the Nintendo eShop.
I mean, you have to.
Anywho, we're going back to Prinny 2, the Dawn of Operation Panties. Dude, And if you listen to last show, you will know that I reviewed the first Prinny game, and I didn't like it too much.
Did not.
This one, we're going to see how it does, because it states 1,000 chances to be a hero or die trying. When the mysterious phantom thief steals Master Etna's panties, the Prinny horde must rise up once again to retrieve them or suffer the consequences. Slash and hit pound your way through chaotic stages full of devilish foes and build up the combo gauge to unleash powerful moves like Prinny Cyclone and Prinny Kaze. Also, dive into the bonus story of the other protagonist of the Disgaea games and claim your glory with the Asage Wars Vengeance of Asage. It is from our good friends over at NIS America. That's Nippon Ichi Software. It's rated T for teen. And, again, it's available October 13th. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, my biggest gripe with this series, as it turns out, is the fact that when you jump, if you push forward, you don't move anywhere. You have to be moving and jumping. What's that?
I said that's the worst. That's the worst.
It is. It's the absolute worst. And I don't know what it is, but I think probably because this game, stylistically, I feel like it borrows an awful lot from, say, Wario World or Wario Land on the Game Boy. Big difference here is that Wario, even on Game Boy, you could jump up and then move a little bit. This, you can't do it. You're stuck in the air, and it's very frustrating, and it's difficult to have to perform a lot of these platforming things that the entire game is built around.
So if you're running and you jump, do you just stop?
No, because you have to be running and then you can jump. But if, say, an enemy's coming at you and you jump up in the air and then you're going to try and, like, go over it so that way you can land on it and butt bump it,
sure,
you can't move. You have to be, like, moving first and then jump to be moving in the air. Otherwise, it's just a straight-up motion.
It's a bold move.
Very frustrating. You can see gameplay of it in the show notes.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, it drives me insane. And but other than that, like, the story is a little bit better than the last one. It's funnier to me, probably because of the fact that, like, you're going around trying to steal panties. And what they don't tell you is that the whole premise is that you go around and you try to, like, beat up these bosses to get their rare items, so that way you can lure this person who stole the panties out of hiding, and you can beat them up and take back the panties. All right,
so you're reclaiming them. Then
you're going to reclaim the thieved panties, and if you watch the gameplay, I crack a good amount of jokes, namely the fact that this Lord Etna still wears a skirt, and she's freaking out about the fact that she doesn't have any panties. I think that's pretty funny. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, the music's good. Graphically, this is a little bit better. There's a ton more enemy types, and it also comes with these super moves that some of them are easy to remember. I can't remember, like, the button configuration on one of them is, like, it's awful. And I don't know why they would do this to you. It's already been done on Game Boy, and you just remade this game. Clean it up just a bit more, and I think it can be if a patch comes out or something like that. Hopefully it does. But because of all of those things, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Prinny, the Dawn of Operation Panties Dude, a 3 out of 5.
Not the worst score, my man. Not the worst, but not the best.
No. Better than the 2.5 I gave the first game, but still not that great. If you can get past this very irritating thing that I can't get past, which is the jumping mechanic, maybe you'll have a much, much better time than I did.
Hey, man, you know what? Anymore, that is what it's all about, is having a good time. Yes.
Absolutely.
And luckily for you out there in podcast land, we're always releasing episodes of the Switch It Up show. You got multiple per month. Some days we drop one episode on you, other days we drop 3. You got an episode each and every single day of the Preachcast Presents the Treehouse of Horrors coming at you. You have the release of a new podcast, Jump Scare, which is replacing Tales from the Crypt, dropping on Halloween itself. You got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's what we do here over on the Preach Network, because we remember, ladies and gentlemen, if things ever get boring, and they never do here, you can always switch it up.